What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James, RedoptionAgency.com. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. What is going on? What's today? Oh, today's Friday. I was thinking it was Thursday for some reason. That means we get to go over the numbers for the week. Yeah. I'm always excited about that. New store sale, old store sale. And what happened yesterday for a full day after I changed my shipping on my media mail? On my media items, what happened? Well, first, let me say it looks more like a shutoff than ever before, being yesterday was consistent sales, multiple sales every hour. From opening bell, which was after the night before shutdown, to closing bell, which was last night's shutdown. Maybe that's what we're going to call it now, opening bell to closing bell, because we always have that turned off in the middle of the night. From 1 o'clock to 8:30 this morning, sold 3 items. So 12 to 8:30. 8.5 hours overnight, only 3 items. Yet throughout the whole day, selling multiple items per day. And no, not everybody across the world sleeps. So the shutdown is more clear today than ever before. Now, I'm curious to see today what will happen. What should happen is, since I am competitive with my low dollar items, I should still have a higher number of items sell today. But what I'm concerned about is, was that just a bump because I changed all those listings? And did they get a bump because of that? That's my concern. Are my items still, even though I'm going to be priced lowest and competitive, will they be hidden still? That's the concern. What I predict should happen is I will still again have 45 to 55 items sold today. Hopefully more. Hopefully it picks up steam. But I've been hanging around, 30... What was it? I don't remember now. That's why you can always look, James. 34, 32, 45, 35, 40, 35, 41. Yesterday was 56 items sold, 33 organic. So that low organic, it really kicked that up because none of these free shipping low dollar ones are being promoted. So that saves me money there. Also no sale, which allowed me to be competitive and only lose a little bit per item in hopes to double my items sold when it comes to CDs and cassettes and stuff. I'm basing it off CDs. Before this change, I was averaging 240 CDs sold per month. So I'd like to see that hit 500 CDs per month. So that's the goal, to whether this works or not and is worth the change. Also, I would like to see how the combined orders do on the CDs. I'm using CDs as the basis because that's my highest one of all media that sells. So all the others will follow suit. I don't have very many DVDs listed, but before, in the past, when I did and had was competitive, DVDs sold like crazy. So I'm definitely going to be trying to get more DVDs up to see what happens there, because I only think I got like 12 or 1,300 DVDs listed. So yeah, 56 items sold yesterday, 33 organic, 23 promoted. And actually, my impressions actually stayed about the same. 760,000 impressions, which has been what it's been running lately. It was at 1 million. then dropped down to like 800,000, and then hit about 700,000. So it's been going down, which would suggest traffic is slowing down on the site. In a normal world, that's what that would suggest. I know some people don't think these numbers matter. Then you've got the eBay manipulation problems, whatever case is going on. What that should suggest is summerish slowdown happening, less people looking things up. But that doesn't necessarily mean your sales have to suffer. And we can get it, I'll get into summertime and what that means for the platform, what that means for me as a business, and what I've done in the past over the years for June and July because it was always my 2 slowest months of the year. So how can you take advantage of that and or change that? We'll go over that stuff while I'm shipping. Now I got to remember that. I just pulled that out of my butt. So this morning at 9:15, slept in a little bit, feeling refreshed. 4 items sold. So 4 items sold after selling 56 items yesterday. Only 4 items sold in the last 7 hours and 15 minutes. Now you see why I say there's a shutdown overnight. And like I said, the more I sell during the day, the bigger this number, the bigger that's going to look, the more obvious it's going to look that there's a shutdown overnight. So, because that shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Gee, what's up? So today I'm only at $60 right now at 9:15. Yesterday, $1,121. That did include a $300 sale of the vintage, one of the vintage radios. There's another free shipping one. Just another, or one of the radios I picked up at the church sale. So I spent $60 that day. Just on that alone, it was $280. So 300 of that is even if you take that off, that's still $821. So that's still a step up of where, 707, 477, 652, 464, 594, 488. So I almost doubled, even without the radio. So the radio was the add-on bonus for the day. So almost on the $400 days, almost doubled. Not quite, but you know what I mean. 4 to 8 is the roundabout way of looking at it. It did feel like that a lot of other stuff was selling along with the media. The media was dinging, and it felt like stuff that's been sitting in my store for a while. I shipped 3 times yesterday, and Adrian shipped once, so to keep up. So only one made it to the video, but there was a nice array of different items, clothing, and just, it just felt like other things were popping too. So we'll see if that continues, or if that's just because I changed something in my listings and got this huge bump. We shall see. The numbers won't lie, and the consistency of the numbers won't lie. How about that? That's the best way to put it with eBay right now. The consistency of the numbers won't lie. Boink, boink, boink. So we're going to look with international orders. So $1,121 US eBay site. International. Custom yesterday. 23. All right, So $1,121 to $1,147. So not much on the international websites yesterday. Up 57%. Here's what I wanted. Okay, whoo! I was so worried about the selling costs yesterday because $6.99, $4 of that's going to selling costs. So it's going to be over 50%. So I was worried about that number staying under 50. I expect it to, on certain days, probably go over. Like if my day is very heavily free media mail shipping day, I expect that number to go over. But I guess what helped me yesterday was that big order. My selling cost yesterday was only 40%. So with net sales $612, up 46% from the day before. So out of $1,146, I pocketed $612 of that dollars. So that is good. And for anybody who don't know, who's going to say, well, that's not really your profit. Well, yeah, it is, because then it goes into my pocket, Jan's pocket, Adrian's pocket. The only thing the business has on its head that is not everyday related is $700 a month on storage fees. Everything else that the business pays for it could be looked at as personal. Payroll, cell phones, car payment. So, cleaning supplies. You're going to buy all that stuff anyway if you work for somebody else. So, that's basically all. I include all that as payment to me in my eyes when I look at it and view it. So, when I say $612, you can take $700, divide that by 30, and that much would be business bills. The rest is basically pocket money. So, average sales per item, $20. Of course, that's going to be up because of that one big sale. And now let's do top. Oh, it's let me do the. It's going to. No, that's all. That's yesterday. I was saying let me do the top 5, but that's a one day, not a week. So let me do a week here. Is it going to let me do? Yeah. Now it's going to let me do the top 5 of the week with all the sites included. Before it wasn't doing that. Let me make sure I'm doing this right, just so I can. Make sure I'm doing it right. So, okay, that looks right. All right. So, money made last week. $5,300, down 16%. So last week as a whole compared to the week before, down 16%. Selling costs 43%. Net sales $2,681. Quantity sold, and that was down 22%. Quantity sold 333 items, down 18%. Average price per item $16, up 3%. So overall, you've got that typical, we're going into June look here. We're going into summer look, less people on the platform. But like I said, that don't necessarily mean less sales. It depends on what you're selling. So top 5 items for the week. Coming in at number 5, we've got men's t-shirts. Still in the top 5, even though I'm transitioning those over to the new store. I didn't even add in the new store with this money, so we'll take that into account too. I need some scrap paper here. And I'm out of paper there. Here we go. With all this different stuff coming in now, I ain't gonna remember this stuff. Coming in at number 4, vintage radios. So because of that one radio, $337, up 100%. So that was just the one that sold. Number 3, as always, as most of the time, music cassettes. Excuse me. $541, up 94%. Number 2, as most of the time, is music CDs, $976, down 15%. Number 1, as most of the time, men's hats, $1,317, up 5.3%. So there we go. Honorable mention is DVDs, $213, down 3%. So now let's go over to the new store. So $1,147 plus the new store. So on the new store yesterday, 2 items sold, both promoted again. I still have sold no organic over there on the new store. That's pretty lame. So yesterday made $71 on the new store. Got 1 item here that's going out today as part of that. So far, the new store has made me $727. So yesterday was over a $1,200 day. So we'll just keep it simple. Over $1,200. Did I have any Posh yesterday? I don't know if I had Posh or not. Posh is always just kind of like I look at it as the bonus. I did sell this morning. No, I took an offer, but it said that they didn't have an updated card for an item from the new store that was transferred over to Posh. So I don't know if that's going to come through as a sale today or not. I guess it depends if they update their card. Let's go ahead and knock this one out while we're here. I picked this. Where did I get this? I think I got this at the bins. Yeah, I think somebody threw them back. And I'm like, why'd they throw these back? So this was another hype piece. Denim shorts. Look at that distressed. Love that. Paint rips. I like how they matched the threading with their under there and matched it with the paint. I like that. So these are obviously made to be distressed. Yeah, somebody threw these back at the bins. One of the kids in the corners who throws clothes back, they threw these back and I grabbed them. Same with a cool, like, it's a vintage, I think I got it listed in the new store, a vintage satin jacket, but it had a train across the back. I forget what company it was. Had the train, had the name. I'm like, dude, these kids must just sell to, like, local shops or something, because these only sold for $17.50, so maybe they're just looking for higher dollar stuff, but still. I always check the corners and where the kids congregate and throw stuff back. And this is one of the reasons why I do that. I'll never have a problem looking through other people's junk, their throwback, whatever, their throwaways. Because if you know what you're doing, know what you're looking for, been doing this long enough, etc., you're going to always find something. Like I say with any thrift store, no matter how good you think they are when it comes to they keep the good stuff in the back, they're going to miss something. They always miss something. And the more knowledge you have in your head, the more you're going to find they missed. So never stop learning. Something went wrong. We were not able to generate a label. Okay, eBay, why can I not print a label? Not showing nothing wrong with the account. Nothing popping up anyway. So I guess they're having a glitch with shipping now. Let's try it again since I clicked out. Edit 110. Make sure I'm not doing anything wrong here. 110, because this is newish looking to me. 15 by 13 by 5. Non-hazardous. Save. Saved it. Purchase shipping label. Looks like it's going to go through this time, maybe. Yes. Okay. So a glitch. There is a glitch with shipping. Hopefully it's not on my other account. Because it'd be a pain in the butt to get through everything and then it glitch out on me and I have to go do it again. Okay. Right printer. Back to orders. All right. Okay. Got some big old packages here. Let's get those out of the way. All right, let's do some questions and comments, and then I'll get to shipping, and we'll talk about summer on eBay. So if you saw my video yesterday, I went ahead and decided to sell 20 cards. Or, sorry, 10 cards signed. If you compare that with the 25 I signed before, I sold 11 of those. So I figured it'd be easier to sell out at 10 than to do 25 and still have some left. Some left of the first card if you want them. I'm going to keep the first card around just in case new people start finding the card series, they can still grab a number 1. But like I said, number 2, there is only 100 of them. 10 of them are signed, and about 7 of them are spoken for. So there's going to be only about 80 cards available. So hopefully they'll sell out. And then I made one special edition one, which I haven't decided what I want to do with that. Just put it up for a big solid number. And of course, half will go to Shriners. The same with the 10 signed. And then, or put it up for auction. Because I feel weird putting it for auction because it's the same feeling before. Like, who's going to want this stuff? Come on now. And then you guys showed me and you've been telling me you want it. So I'm afraid to put it up and it just sits there and does nothing. It makes me look dumb. Not that I care about looking dumb because I do a pretty good job of doing that every day myself. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, I'm trying to do the right things to not to build this brand thing and not diminish it. That's the word I was looking for. So I don't want to do something that's going to like maybe diminish it. You know, like, that didn't work. I'm like, damn, that didn't work. And then how does that look with other people who are wanting to collect these, right? I don't want to let, that's the basis. I don't want to let I want to try to build the collector's market. I don't want to do anything that would tarnish that market. Just in case I can build this into something. It's all about trying. All right. Okay, first up, I decided to just not drive myself nuts with any of this stuff. Going to use the slow season to reorganize how I'm doing things and try to streamline. Oh, this is actually what I was going to talk about. I'm going to cut back or eliminate any large breakable stuff because not only do you spend way too much time packing it, but you have to store all the packing materials for those items. Time for a yard sale to blow out the big stuff or the slow movers. Good ideas. Whatever's going to work for you and your situation, you know. I'm confused about web interpret. What's the point of it? All my eBay listings to appear on UK and other overseas sites without me doing anything. So not sure why you use them. So what web interpret does is when your stuff is on other sites, it shows it as US and suppresses it. You're going to be way at the bottom of it. Like when you're looking at the US site and you see the UK listings, that's what it does. What this does, well, not all of them, because what this does, the ones that are up high, or down low. What this does is it turns it into an actual listing on that site, which if it's in, it'll convert the language over to their language, and it places it in priority on that site. Just like you see a lot of UKs and stuff at the top of our site, that's because they've transferred over to our site. They're not the international ones that you find way down at the bottom. So that's kind of the difference, the placement of them. You're the best. No, you're the best. Where can I find these deals? My brother's looking for a BMX bike. It was on bmxplanet.com, I believe, is where I got the bike from. I want one now. The card. Smiley face. Cool. I put my store on vacation mode for 5 days. Every other week works great. I am convinced it promotes selling. It is weird the sales you will get when you put your store on vacation mode. It always happens. Because I used to use it when we would all go on trips. I'd put it on vacation mode, and yeah, you still get a good number of sales, at least then too. So there's one person who's going crazy on one of my shorts. She's saying stuff that don't really even make sense. It's so funny. I'm just liking it. I'm not even. This ain't like a repeat person. This is just somebody random. But you can kind of tell when you're reading somebody's stuff whether they're trolling or whether they're just kind of, how can you say it nicely? Not understanding. Let's just say it that way. So I don't think they're a troll. I think they're just not understanding. It's like this person saying, and your actions are abusive to someone who has been abused. While you think you are funny, you actually were very offensive to people who trusted you. Like, huh? It was the one where I made a joke about when people call people homophobes because they don't like watching two guys kiss. And I go, well, I don't like watching a guy and a girl kiss. Does that make me a straightophobe? So it was that kind of joke. So offensive to people who trusted you. Huh? So, yeah, I leave those people alone because they're just misunderstanding. 100%. If someone is falling short, work harder. I would like to see some signed cards. So yeah, I had about 3 or 4 of you guys say signed cards. That's why I went ahead and signed some cards yesterday. Oh, here's that person again. You went a little too far with this one and that toy. Just saying. I don't even think there was a toy in that video. It was just me talking. Or maybe I had Dolly. Maybe Dolly. Was Dolly? No, I don't think Dolly was a part of that. I'm not sure. But anyway. Don't try to figure it out, James. Just keep going. You got better things to do. We need a biking channel. Yeah, I got to get out and bike, man. Yesterday I wanted to, but my sinus were so bad yesterday. I'm just going to screw them up even more. I'm feeling better today. I feel a little cloggy, but we'll see how I'm feeling. But I definitely keep making excuses. It sucks. All right, so that should be it. All right, let's get to shipping and we'll talk about summer months on eBay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 items since I pulled. I think I got everything. My stomach's growling. Any international overnight? We've got 1 to France. Haven't seen you in a while, France. And that's it. Boo. Boo-hoo. All right, first up. Boom, 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 boom. We've got Greg Norman, Polo shirt. I always grab the Greg Norman stuff at the bins. Sold for $17.50. Headed to New Jersey. I don't always buy it like at normal thrift stores for like $4 or $5 or whatever. It's not, the profit's not worth it for me. But at the bins, I will grab it. Unless it's like a super looking special shirt that I have to look up because it looks really special for some reason or another. Was it Greg Norman or somebody else? Another, because there's so many golfers out there who do like collabs with brands and stuff. So but I'm not very knowledgeable on those. Those are always like a look up thing, or just trust in my judgment if there's like a cool print on it or something. I think the last one I got was a collab with Adidas, and it had little umbrellas all over it or something. I don't know if I ever sold that or not though. Don't remember. Damn it. So as we're going into summer months, June and July. June and July has always been my lowest amount of money made. Always made good money, but always my lowest. It took me about 4 years to realize that, selling on eBay. If you see that, if you looked at that graph I put up of the like 2003 through 2006 or 7 or whatever, of my numbers that I put in the community section, you'll see the trend on what I'm getting ready to speak on here. Peabody Memphis hat sold for $10.50, headed to Memphis. So after I started realizing that, because before that we were taking vacations around our birthday. So that's why you see February on a couple of those years where I only did like $1,000 or whatever on February. It's because we were taking vacations in our birthday month. Then once we realized that June and July were the slow months, we started taking vacations in June or July. So that's the first thing to do in June and July. Take your break if you want to. If you're going on a family vacation, June and July is perfect for that, because that's when everybody else is doing it. So you may have less lookers, less sellers, less buyers. Next up, we've got Juno Mix CD. That sold for $10.99. Headed to Maryland. So yeah, after that, we would always go to either Smoky Mountains, Destin, Florida. The one time we went to Arizona. Victor. Now we don't worry about it because Adrian, for the last, like, I don't know, 10 years, somewhere. We haven't worried about it because kids don't go with us anymore. They do their own things, so they're usually here to help keep the business going, so they'll keep things shipping and rolling, so I don't have to put it on timeout or anything. Where are you at? I know I pulled you. There you are. All right, we got the Cardigans, First Band on the Moon CD. Sold for $6.99. Headed to Florida. This is another copy other than the picture, so let me change that out. And then two other things you can use June and July for. The one, as the person stated on YouTube comment, is use it to clean up. Use it to reorganize, to move things around. You're going to have less sales, maybe, depending on what you're selling. So you're going to have more time. So you can either list more or you can reorganize more. do things that take you off the computer screen. Now for me, that's a big thing because I can spend 8-10 hours at the computer screen, right? So for me to step back and only put 5 hours in the computer screen, that's a big amount of time to put towards something else. Now, depending on how much time you put on your computer screen, but if you're like me and you put a lot of time into listing and working at the computer, then stopping for 3 or 4 hours a day to reorganize your stuff, it makes a huge difference. Next up, Peter Pan. CD sold for $10.99, staying in the area, St. Louis. And lastly is what I've done last year, and I didn't really do when my dad was here. So last year was the first year I really got back into it, and I'm definitely doing it this year again, and that is yard sailing. Using the June and July months to take advantage of yard sales, which means taking advantage of getting good stock cheap. The stuff I found at yard sales last year was awesome. I got all that vinyl, that good dollar vinyl that sold. That's the only thing that's sticking out in my head right now, but there was definitely more. But I remember my numbers being pretty good for our June and July last year. It wasn't actually my lowest months of the year, but of course, you got to take everything else in consideration too. That's going on with eBay. So it's hard to pin down what's a slow month on eBay because nothing works properly. We got Swingers on Blu-ray, sold for $6.99, headed to Wisconsin. So that's what I will be doing. And then also be taking advantage of every other Saturday. Since Jan will be starting her new gig as a store pharmacy manager out in Sullivan. The first Saturday, I think it's the first Saturday she's going out. I found a flea market, a pop-up like flea market for 2 weekends. But it's like 2.5 hours further than Sullivan. So she's got a 6 hour, or is it an 8 hour? 8 hour shift. So it'd be a 5 hour drive. And I'd only have to spend 3 hours at the flea market. I wouldn't get there till like noon, maybe 11:30. I drive fast on country roads, so I might be able to. It's 2.5 hours, so I'm probably at 12 o'clock, quarter till 12, depending on how many small towns you got to go through. I always do the speed limit in small towns because those cops always like writing out of area tickets. So if I go there 12 to 3, shop and then drive back, might be something I'm doing. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't remember the town it was in. I will have to see how it works out. Next up, we've got Lynn Lavish. I don't know. March cassette. They bought 2 of them. They both together sold for $14, headed to Portland, Oregon. And I'm all out here. I ordered a buttload of supplies yesterday, so that's probably all coming today. Well, not the Giro Pack stuff, but the Uline stuff. Spent like $1,400. Oh yeah. I moved these yesterday to for a second. Forgot to move them back. So, should have enough supplies for the summer. And then I dropped another 1,000 at Pack. If you need any bubble mailers or poly bags, my affiliate link is below. I appreciate it if you use it. It helps me get my stuff for free. And then some. I haven't checked how much I've made on Pack lately. They don't send me an email anymore. Just every once in a while I'll see that they sent the money to PayPal, and that's all I see. But I don't pay attention to the actual amount. 5 LIU. So thank you for everybody who uses Pack affiliate link and the Vendu link. Vendu is still making me good money, so thank you guys for using that. It's pretty cool. Who would ever thought you could do stuff like that? 15-year-old me would be freaking out right now with what I'm doing. The Immortal Victor Hubert vinyl sold for $6.99, headed to Concord, California. You ever just stop and think about what your younger self would think? Or were you even like, where were you in your younger years? You know, were you, like, I was dead set on getting out of my situation where I grew up and doing something I enjoy. But I've always been like creative, or, you know, I didn't want to be the normal person, taking the normal job, doing the normal thing and being miserable. So I was always looking for that something special. So, like, you ever just think what your younger self would look at you now and go, damn, that's pretty damn cool. I try to keep that mindset all times. That's why I come across, and I'm thankful for it, I come across like I'm never grown up. Because I don't have to grow up. To me, growing up just means take responsibility. But that you should do that your whole life, right? But as you grow up, you learn to do that more so than some when younger. So if you take responsibility, or take, you know, you're responsible for your whatever, you're raising the kids to paying the bills, right? Then it doesn't matter anything else. Everything else is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how you act. It doesn't matter trying to look professional, or that's all that's overrated. You wear t-shirts every day. You got Nintendo Super Mario stuff on your shirt. You're such a little boy. Thank you. You know? Thank you. There's something to be said about that. And it's all positive in my eyes. Yeah, I'm that little boy. I enjoy frozen Coke and hot chips, Nintendo shirts and bands. But I also enjoy a big old house, a nice Porsche, and the freedom to say F you. The Outsiders on DVD sold for $6.99, headed to Nevada. That was, you know, that was my ultimate goal as a kid. Just to be happy. And that meant not being stressed out and enjoy what you're doing. If you're living those two things, especially the happy part, you're living your best life. Some people get caught up in more is what makes you happy. But no. Happy is where you are when you're happy. It doesn't mean more. It doesn't mean you can't strive for more. But in doing so, remember and don't let it slip away the fact that you're fine and happy at that moment, right? And don't jump to things sooner than you should. And it allows that bubble you're in, that happy, stress-free bubble, to burst because you went in over your head, right? Just because you wanted something and you know, that something's not going to make you happier if there's stress attached to it. It'll make you happier if there's no stress and no problems attached to it. So making that right decision at the right time is what matters if you want to step something up. So we got this workout cassette tape. This came in storage. I had it in storage who knows how long. How many years. Sold for $21. Headed to Pennsylvania. I can save that one for that. That won't fit in there anymore. Let's put it in a LP mailer. I keep hearing thumping. I'm guessing the UPS man might be here early since I ordered so much. He's probably wanting it off his truck. Or that's the washer. Now I hear water running. Maybe the washer was timed to come on. That's probably that might be what it is. If she starts a load before she goes to work, she'll time it so it comes on after she knows I've woken, which is cool. Very respectable. I thank her for that. Deborah. That's so funny. That workout, 80s like workout cassette tape, it's going to somebody named Deborah. The first thought in my head was, that sounds like a person who would be working out in the 80s to one of these tapes. Deborah. Next up, Nazareth 8-track tape. Sold for $6.99, headed to Pennsylvania. I think that's what's making, like, why is this little growl in my throat today? I think that's what's making, like, this card thing even better for me, is because I'm doing it out of a playful kid viewpoint. That creativeness, playful kid thing. So every time I sell one, I get like giddy and happy. And it's not because, hey, I made money off of this. It's because something I created sold. Bryan Adams Cuts Like a Knife cassette. Sold for $6.99, headed to Mississippi. I'll just have to pull out some more cassettes. I'm not sure where they're at right now. Keep that simple. But, yeah. Like everything I do from here on out with no stress attached is just me if I was 15, 16 years old. Singing woohoo every time something cool happens. And everything's cool or awesome. It doesn't have to be proper English or proper this or proper dress or no, just be fun. Legion of Doom hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Los Angeles, California. Be fun. That's what it is. Be fun. Be happy. Be stress-free. Be fun. I'm not 100% back there yet, because I feel like I still have some block in me a little bit, like just because of everything, right? The dad, the Vern, and now, even with the PV, with the seizures, that turns into a serious matter. So Serious James comes aboard and takes care of the situation, right? So maybe I'll never be 100% in that headspace, that moment, but that might be a good thing. Because maybe that 1% is the responsibility, is the know what to do, the things you've learned over the years, the wisdom maybe of handling things or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's the foundation. Where before, when you're a kid thinking like that, there's no foundation. Your parents were your foundation. You knew you had a place to go. You didn't have bills to pay, right? I don't know. I'm just talking whatever's popping in my head. You know how I work. It's either something or it's nothing. But nothings are always something. Because it means you learned it was nothing. Ally. Breathe out. Ali from St. Lunatics. Headed to California, sold for $9. I think I hope to always have that kid-like freedom in my head. It allows me to think of things like that card, It's goofy, it's whimsical, it's fun. Alright, the last US item is this classical VHS tape. Sold for $6.99, headed to Minnesota. Now that sounded like a UPS truck. Just pulled off. So maybe it was both going. I don't know. Maybe the thumps were both of them. We got 10 by 12 by, let's call it 3. Medium male, Andrew. I think it kind of shows too. Messing with these trolls is so much fun. Did you guys see the one yesterday? He hasn't been around for a while, and now he's saying he's not coming back. So we'll see how long that lasts. I had a little fun with him. A couple of you guys joined in. Oh, that was so fun. Hater Hank. We'll miss you, Hater Hank, if you're really not coming back around. Peace out. Just a fair warning to any troll who is thinking about jumping in. I'm not your typical person. I'm not your typical victim. Because I'm not a victim. I create victims. That's the good thing about, too, growing up the way I did, right? I can have a sinister side. I just choose not to use it. But it allows me to explore there again when haters come on and attack. It allows me to tap into that sinister side once more. So if you're a normal viewer and you read some of that stuff, just know that it's all in jest and fun. And I will go down any road that it takes to be victorious. Other than hurting someone physically. Emotionally, that's another question. I may hurt a troll emotionally here and there. But hey, when you sign up for the dance, we're going to dance. I get a kick out of it. And I'll go anywhere. It doesn't matter. Because I'm very good with making stuff up or doing things on the fly, being improv, spontaneous. You've seen some of it come out in comical ways, right? So I can do the same thing in dark ways. Actually, I think my dark ways are a little bit more easier to be. Like if I was a wrestler, I would definitely be the heel. Because I'm so much better at being the bad guy than the good guy. I think that's why I try so hard to be a good guy in reality. Try to do the right things, be the, because it's so easy for me to be the bad guy. So easy. And it's so much fun to be the bad guy, right? But I have the troll tendencies. How about that? There we go. Call me King Troll. You will bow and worship me by the time I'm done with you. And nothing's ever personal. Like if I met any of those people in real life, not that I would, because they would be afraid to come up to somebody's face who they're actually talked crap about. But if I did, it wouldn't be personal. I'd be like, what's up, man? It's only personal if you get your butt spanked. Then it gets personal. I do the spanking. All right, let's print that. If you come at me, I do the spanking. I'm not going to, I'm not going to go out looking for trouble, looking to cause problems, looking to be a troll. That's not my gig. I was bullied as a kid. My gig was when someone stood up for me, that taught me to stand up for others. So I'll always be the reactionary troll. I'll never be the, what do you call it? The person who does it first, though. There's a word, simple word, but of course I'm brain farting again. Initiate. I'll never be the initiating troll. But I love to play the game. Brother Beyond, CD promo, single. Refresh. Headed to France. Sold for $9.88. Ooh, today's Friday. So this video will probably be put up late because I'm taking my cash and I'm going to look for yard sales. I forgot all about that. Sleeping in today. I didn't even think about that. That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. 988. 3.9. We were walking through some mute, smiling through the pain. That's all right. That's okay. Let's turn the page. We could sail away, or catch a freight train, or rocket ship into outer space. Nothing left to do. Too many things were said to ever make it feel like yesterday did. Now seasons must change, separate paths, separate ways. We blame it on anything, let's blame it on the rain. I knew it all along, I'd have to write the song. Too young to fall in love, guess I knew it all along. But that's alright, and that's okay. We were two kids in love, trying to find our way, that's alright, and that's okay. Let's turn the page. My friends called today, down from LA. They were shooting pool all night, sleeping half of the day. They said I could crash if I could find my way. I told them we were leaving on a bus to go away, and that's alright, and that's okay. We were walking through some music, trying to find our way, that's alright. Let's turn the page and remember what I said, girl, it goes this way, yeah, girl, don't go away now, girl, just go away. I said, girl, all right, let's see where we're at. So we are at 10:10, and yesterday at 10:10, I was pretty high up there with money, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Let's see where I'm at today at 10:10. Only at $93. Come on, eBay. Don't let me down anymore. I'm tired of being let down. All right, thanks everybody for hanging out. I am going looking for a few yard sales maybe. Find some good stuff, hopefully. As good as the last one was. That was pretty awesome. And I think that's it. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.